Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we're going to be headed back into the Magic Sword universe. A universe where a magical katana gives you all of the memories and skills from all of the past wielders of the sword. Now, this idea comes from our Google form, though the person who left it did not put their name. Basically, they wanted the holder of the magic sword to also find a magic shield in a dungeon. So, if you suggested this episode, make sure you reach out to me, and I will eventually give you a shout out for it. Though, I'm currently on vacation, so I may not get your message right away. Now, many of you are probably wondering why, if I'm on vacation, I'm still doing episodes. And that's because I decided to record a whole bunch in advance. Because, even though I need a break, I know bedtime never goes away. Now, if you want to support one of the most reliable bedtime shows out there, one that's pretty consistently bringing you 3 new episodes a week, well, you can join me on Patreon. For as little as $1 per month, you can support the podcast better than ads ever will. You get access to episodes as soon as I have them recorded, which sometimes is in advance and sometimes isn't. You get access to some extra episodes. We're still always working on increasing the number there, though. And you get access to the novel that I'm working on. All audio-based, in fact. It's called Unbound Superhero Academy. As of the recording of this, I believe I'm up to chapter 5. But I'll keep posting more as soon as I make them. Now, it's that time again. Time to get as comfy as you can in that bed, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Imagine yourself waking up in the morning. You get up out of bed and you walk over to your magic sword, which is leaned up against the wall in your bedroom. You grab a hold of it and place it on your back. It almost magically attaches there, and then the sword just sort of disappears. That way, nobody else will know you're walking around with a magic sword. People do ask questions about that sort of thing after all. After having a nice healthy breakfast, you head outside. But you're not exactly sure what you should do today. You find a nice tree with a good amount of shade underneath it, and you sit cross-legged below the thing. You decide that now might be as good a time as any to ask for assistance from the sword or, well, the past wielders of the sword. You close your eyes, you hold your hands out, palms up facing the sky, and you just begin to breathe. You start by noticing your breath as it goes in and out, and with each out-breath you release more tension from your muscles, until eventually you find yourself very, very relaxed. Your head slowly waves back and forth, and you reach out to the sword with your mind. Suddenly, you're transported to a new mental realm. A realm that seems to be, well, up in the clouds. And sure enough, sitting across from you are a whole bunch of other people. All of the past wielders of the sword, in fact. A few of them you recognize, including the Monkey King. The last wielder of the sword, the one before you, steps forward.
"Welcome. What is it we can do for you?"
he asks. Well, I was just wondering if there was anything I could do. Some way to get more powerful. Maybe helping someone who needs help. I don't know.
Well, you have come to the right place. There are, in fact, many other things you may wish to do. You see, the sword is not the only important magical artifact out there. There are several others.
The scenery changes, and suddenly you and the past wielder of the sword, who is, dressed up in a ninja costume, find yourself standing in front of some sort of equipment room. Hanging from the wall are a whole bunch of different objects. A suit of ninja armor of some kind, the sword, and a shield. What's that? You ask as you look towards the shield.
That is a very special shield,
the past wielder explains.
It too is magic. It has a way of changing shape and form to the needs of the wielder. Most ninja do not use shields. However, this one is perfectly adapted for what we do. When not needed, it forms a sort of bracelet or gauntlet around your wrist, ready to transform and protect you when needed.
Cool. How do I get this? You ask.
Well, many of these artifacts are protected in different areas. This one happens to be protected on the island of Okinawa, the birthplace of karate.
Cool. I guess we're going to Okinawa then. Any idea where it is?
Trust your senses. They will bring you there.
With that, the illusionary world disappears around you, and you find yourself back under the tree. You look around, and it takes you a second to get your bearing again. But then you remember everything you've just learned. You need to go to Okinawa, to some sort of dungeon, to find some sort of magic shield. Without hesitation, you crouch down and jump into the air, trusting the air itself to catch you. Clouds start to swirl underneath your body, and you find yourself sitting atop a floating nimbus cloud. You silently thank the Monkey King once again for teaching you this technique.
You are welcome,
a voice says in your head. Weird. Now, the journey to Okinawa is not a short one. The cloud flies high into the sky, up above the other clouds, a place where commercial airliners normally soar. You start by sitting up on the cloud, but after a little while you start to get tired. You lean back, and the cloud kind of forms itself around your body, giving you a comfortable way to lounge backwards. It's also kind of hard to explain exactly how you know where you're going, but you feel a pull in a certain direction, almost magnetic, and you just kind of follow it. After a very long flight, the pull starts to lead you downward. You dip down below the clouds, and you can suddenly see the island of Okinawa. It's absolutely beautiful. Surrounded by coral reefs that shimmer in the turquoise water, you soar over white beaches and crumbling stone castles that are perched on hills, relics of a forgotten age. The pull brings you towards a sort of jungle area. The jungle thickens beneath you, and eventually you come to a jagged ridge where mist seems to cling to the trees. You lower the nimbus down, and nestled among the cliffs is the mouth of, well, a limestone cave of some kind, half shrouded in vines, half swallowed by shadow. The entrance is easy to miss, unless you have some sort of pull pulling you towards it. You lower yourself down to the ground, and you allow the cloud to dissipate. You land on your own 2 feet and walk towards the cave. You draw your sword from its sheath behind your back and slice through the vines. As you walk into the dark cave, holding your sword in front of you, you wish that you had some sort of light. Then the sword itself begins to glow, and a light shines out on your surroundings. You make your way through the limestone cave, easily turning left or right based on the pull from inside. Soon, you come to a huge rock wall. Though, it has something interesting inside of it, like a little slit or something. You walk up towards it, examine the thing, and realize that it's exactly the right size and width for your sword. You place the sword inside the little slit, push it all the way in, and turn it like a key. The rock wall begins to vibrate. Dust breaks free from it, and then it breaks open in the center and opens up to the left and right, freeing your sword in the process. Unbelievable. You see a large corridor stretching out in front of you. Torches light up along it, and you begin to walk down, exploring the newfound place. When you get in a little ways, you hear the stone doors closing. You soon come to an area that looks, a little bit different, a little bit suspicious. There's a huge pit in front of you, and as you lean over the side to see what's in it, well, there's jagged metal spikes sticking up. You examine the surroundings, and you see that there's some sort of angled walls on the left and right that almost look like they're designed for some sort of highly trained warrior to jump from one to the other. In fact, the whole thing looks kind of like an obstacle course on American Ninja Warrior. Further down, there's a couple of loops, a bar hanging on a rope from the ceiling, and, well, then there's a large platform on the other side. You place your sword in its sheath, close your eyes, and gather all of your ninja skills and memories. Without hesitation, you run towards the opening. You leap to the first angled wall piece. Immediately, you land and push off to the next, then the next, then the next, moving left and right on either side of the wall. Then, you jump up in the air, performing a perfect front flip, of course, and grab onto one of the loops hanging from the ceiling. You use your momentum to swing to the next, releasing the first loop, gliding through the air, and easily grabbing on to the last. Then, using your momentum once again, you flip yourself backwards, launching you through the air towards the bar hanging on the ropes. This time, you grab onto the bar using your legs, or the crook of your knee, I should say. The bar continues to swing forward with your momentum, and realizing that you don't quite have enough momentum, you allow it to swing back in the other direction. You move back and forth a few times, still hanging upside down from the thing, and on the last one, you release your legs, performing a sort of half backflip, and land on the ledge on the other side. You look back across the huge opening. "Oh, that's amazing," you say, before making your way down the rest of the corridor. You soon come to a large open room, which for some reason has a bunch of rock ninja statues standing in it. They look really realistic, only they're made out of some kind of black rock or possibly obsidian. You step forward into the room, and you feel something press down slightly below your feet. You instinctively jump back, but nothing seems to happen. That is until the statues start to move, slowly at first, but eventually they break off all of the dust and particles that have accumulated throughout the years, and each statue takes a fighting stance. You draw your sword once again, and you hear a voice in your head say, "Do not worry, and do not hold back. These statues are not living, they are programmed. As such, you do not need to be worried about hurting them. You may go all out." There's something reassuring about that. These things aren't human. You don't have to worry about, being careful not to unalive them or anything. The statues run forward, swinging their swords through the air. You instinctively block each duck underneath and sweep low with your sword. The rock statues, seeing your attack in time, flip sideways, land on the ground, and turn to face you again. Another barrage of sword attacks come, but you easily block each, moving at incredible speed. Then you see your opening. After blocking one of the ninja's attacks, you see another raising his sword high up into the air, but with enough time to strike him before he can bring it down. Instead of moving to block his sword, you jump forward and slice through the rock ninja. The ninja soon breaks apart and falls to the ground in pieces. With only 3 to battle, the fight becomes easier. You kick one away with your foot, block another with your sword, and then jump backwards over top of the third, slicing down as you land, and cutting that rock ninja to pieces as well. With 2 left, the battle should be absolutely easy. They both rush at you at the same time. You parry the one on the right, spin around behind him, and slice through, leaving only a crumble of rocks. Then you charge at the other one. Your swords clash together, left, right, up, down, until the other ninja swings its sword low. You jump over top of the attack, slice through the air, mid-backflip, and finish the last stone ninja.
"Very good,"
the voice in your head says.
"Your attacks are becoming much more precise, and your confidence has grown. You continue through the strange hallways of this, cave system or dungeon or whatever it is, until you come to a gigantic metal doorway. On the center of the door are a whole bunch of circles, and surrounding each circle are a whole bunch of animals. There's 5 circles in total. You start to examine the animals. Trust your instincts, a voice in your head says, and you notice a pattern. Or, you notice something anyways, you're not sure if it should be considered a pattern. But on each of the rings, there's one of the famous martial arts animals. A tiger, a crane, a leopard, a snake, and a dragon. You move the first ring until the little line in the center is pointed at the tiger. In the next ring, you move it around until the little line in the center is pointed at the crane. The third ring you move towards a picture of a leopard. The fourth, you move to a picture of a snake. And the last, you move to a picture of a dragon. Again, the door begins to rumble, dust breaks free, and it opens up, revealing a huge cavernous room with a pillar in the center. And on top of that pillar is something that looks a lot like a shield. The only thing somewhat questionable are the number of rock ninjas surrounding the entire thing. You step forward carefully, and the rock ninjas don't seem to react. Something tells you that they're probably waiting for you to take the shield. You walk towards it, glancing left and right again and again, and you grab hold of the shield, lifting it off of the pillar. Sure enough, a little plate moves, and every single one of the rock ninjas comes to life. The shield, however, suddenly starts to glow. Then it snaps itself around your wrist in the form of a bracer. You're confused as to why it doesn't look like a shield anymore, but there's no time to think about that, as there are rock ninjas attacking from every different direction. As the first one swings at you, the shield suddenly reappears, shooting out of the bracer to protect almost your entire body. The rock ninja's sword crashes into the thing, confusing the rock ninja and giving you a chance to strike back. Cool, you realize. With the shield in hand, the battle becomes much easier than the last. You use both your ninja skills and the shield itself to defeat rock ninja after rock ninja, blocking their blows with the shield, striking back with the sword, performing all sorts of fun front flips and back flips, twists and turns, parries and counters. And at one point, when 5 of the rock ninjas surround you at once, a strange feeling comes over you. A feeling like you could throw this shield. Trust your instincts, a voice says from inside. So, you do. You lift your arm up in the air and shoot it out in sort of a frisbee throwing motion. Sure enough, the shield breaks off of your arm, turns itself into a flat disc, and flies through the room, curving sideways and slicing through all 5 of the rock ninjas before returning towards you like a boomerang. You put your arm up in the air to block the thing from hitting you, and again it snaps around your wrist.
Cool, you say. Another rock ninja jumps towards you. You parry his sword down towards the ground, then slice up the thing, cutting the rock ninja in half. Two more jump towards you. You block one with your shield, spin around behind the thing, and slice it in half. The last one stands in front of you. It runs forward, holding the sword up in the air. You get in a perfect fighting stance, lift your sword up as well, and then you throw the shield again. The shield shoots out low towards the rock ninja. This time, he moves his sword to block, but unfortunately, that leaves him completely open for your sword, which slices through the rock, leaving the rock ninja as a pile of rubble. You find yourself standing in a large cavernous room, surrounded by a whole bunch of piles of rock everywhere. You head back out through the door you came in, down the caverns. Well, you make your way across the ninja obstacle course again, and out the main door. As soon as you get outside, you crouch down to the ground, leap up into the air, and trust the sky to catch you. Again, clouds swirl around your body, forming a perfect nimbus cloud that lifts you high up into the air. Again, you search your feelings for that pulling sensation, this time one that can pull you towards your house. You soon find it and make your way up above the clouds and across the oceans. Again, you lay back on the nimbus cloud as it whips you through the sky at a faster pace than most commercial airliners can. As the feeling starts to pull you downward, you allow it to do so, dipping below the clouds, only to reveal your very own home again. As you lower down in front of your door, you allow the cloud to dissipate, landing on both of your feet in a perfect ninja pose. You head inside, directly to your bedroom, and take the sword off of your back, leaning it up against the wall once again. You climb into your bed, pull the covers up over top of yourself, and rest your head on the very comfortable pillow. Your muscles are sore from fighting so many rock ninjas. You take long, slow, deep breaths, and with each one, your muscles relax a little bit more, allowing you to sink down deeper and deeper into the mattress. Soon, your mind begins to wander away to thoughts of new dreams and new adventures to come. Good night, everyone.